punched a toddler in a Trader Joe's and acted like that was just what you do. Hi, hello, welcome to the start of a fun vlog. So I've had this idea for a horror vlog for a while, but I wanted to collect some books that I think would fill this bucket, and that is motherhood horror or mother horror, pregnancy horror, some type of horror that involves a mother and a daughter. I really enjoy reading about. Some past books that have filled this bucket that I really liked were obviously Rosemary's Baby by Ira Levin. Top favorite horror movies. The book is like scene by scene the movie. The Push by Audrey Dane, which is more of a thriller horror, but I thought was really well done. Mother Thing by Annalise Hogarth I really liked a lot. Beloved by Toni Morrison. The Changeling by Victor LaValle, which is more of a father horror, but it still has like a motherhood perspective that is like really horrifying. Bird Box by Josh Malerman. I've not read Night Bitch by Rachel Yoder. I don't know if I will because I've heard, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard if there's like some on-page animal violence. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I've heard. I think those are all the ones that I've read that I really enjoyed. Anyway, I really enjoy the subgenre of horror, so I pulled a few books that I thought would also fill this bucket that I'm going to read for this vlog, and I'm nervous, but I'm really excited. The first option is Delicate Condition by Danielle Valentine, and the little blurb on the front from Andrea Bart says, "The feminist update to Rosemary's Baby we all needed." This one's the longest book of the three. The next one is Dearest by Jackie Walters. This is an ARC I found in a free little library, but I did get the audiobook from the library. And then Baby Teeth by Zoja Stage. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably not, but I'm sorry. These are the three books that I'm gonna read for this vlog, and also I thought it'd be funny, but like morbidly funny. I have a friend who is actually having a baby in the next couple months, and I'm gonna knit a little baby hat for her. I'm gonna knit this little like sprout one. I might knit a blanket, but it probably won't be during this vlog. This sounds really morbid to do this in this kind of vlog, but my friend would probably think this is really funny to do. I think I'm gonna start with Dearest first because that audiobook is due at the library first. So I think I'm gonna start here. In this one, let's see. Jackie Walters is a screenwriter. So I think that's what caught my interest too, is she's a screenwriter, and I love when a book is so transportive and like plays a picture in my head. So I'm hoping, Jackie. Flora is a new mom enamored of her new baby girl Iris, who has arrived a few weeks early. But with her husband still deployed, Flora must navigate the newborn stage alone. As sleepless nights pass in the loneliness of their half-empty home, the edges of her reality begin to blur. Just as Flora becomes convinced she's losing her mind, a surprising guest shows up. Flora's own mother, to whom she hasn't spoken to in years. Can they mend their fraught relationship, or is there more that Flora's mother isn't telling her about the events that led to their estrangement? As stranger and scarier events unfold, Flora begins to suspect the house is not as empty as she once thought. She must decide, is her hold on reality slipping dangerously away, or is she, in fact, the only thing standing between a terrifying visitor and her baby? I really like the cover a lot. It's like really eerie, and like the colors, like the green and the red, I really like. This is what we are starting with. I'm kind of nervous about this one. I mean, they all sound really dark, but that's what I like. I like dark books about motherhood and mother-daughter relationships. Oh, The Land by Lucy Rose, I really liked. I still think it was way too long, but I did enjoy it. And oh, what is that book that really upset me? It's not a horror book. It's like, it's a fiction, but it's, oh my god, why can't I think of it? It really upset me. Did I have it in like my disturbing books video? I might have. Anyway, if I think of it, I'll put it right here. But that one, I had to not read for a few days. That was really, really rough. We're gonna start with Dearest, and I will fill you in when I have more to say. And I need to go to the yarn store. I need to go to the yarn store too, but we'll talk soon. I'm here for a reading update. I'm about 100 pages into Dearest. Okay, let me just paint a little picture for you. Like I read in the back of the book, this is following Flora. She's a brand new mom. A surprise early birth for her daughter named Iris. She decided to show up a few weeks early. Hi, Yumi. No, no, no. No, no, no. No. Nobody wants to hear you chomp. Why do you decide to do this when I'm filming? At the beginning of the book, her dad and stepmother have just left to go back to their own lives 3 hours away, thus leaving Flora alone with Iris for it's about 2 weeks till her husband gets back from deployment. So she is finally truly alone with this new baby as a new mom. And Flora doesn't think she's doing anything right. She's really hard on herself. She's really putting a lot of shame on herself and putting herself down in terms of being this new mom and like her expectations for how things would go. Obviously, she didn't plan to have an early birth while her husband was there, and she didn't plan to do all this alone. She feels bad when Iris is crying and that she can't breastfeed because her nipples have gotten infected, and she's pumping, but she's really tired. She is becoming very forgetful, and she misplaces things, and she didn't have a great relationship with her own mother growing up, which has made this all even more hard. She would love to have her mother there with her. This is set in rural Vermont. It's now like late fall. Leaves have all fallen on the ground. It's chilly, it's cold. Flora starts to feel like she's coming undone a little bit. Like I said, she's been misplacing things. There's this one toy that she just can't stand that keeps showing up, and she's feeling really lonely, extremely tired. She's extremely exhausted. She can't even take a full shower without hearing Iris cry and like feeling like she needs to get to her right that second, or what might be happening to her when she's not in front of her, being alone and being so tired. And like, I'm a hot ass mess when I don't get enough sleep for one night, but this is like strings of nights that she's not sleeping. It really starts to affect her, and she really misses her husband, and it's just been really hard. And she starts hallucinating like horrible things happening to Iris, as well as dreaming about horrible things happening to her. So one night, out of sheer exhaustion and desperation, she reaches out to her mom, who she's been estranged for years. She's not spoken to her mom since she got married. The day she got married, and her mom just seemed so disappointed the whole time, and she like cut off all contact. Reaches out for her mom because like she wishes her mom were there with her granddaughter and could help in some way. And lo and behold, her mom shows up. Flora is shocked but also like relieved that she can pass off her baby for a second so she can just take a minute. Flora's mom's name is Jody. Starts like belittling her and talking down to her and gaslighting her. She's convinced her that someone has hacked her Wi-Fi and is spying on her baby through the baby monitor. And so now they don't have Wi-Fi, and I'm just like, oh. And she's just so, you can tell like she's so toxic. But Flora's just like kind of like shoving it off because my mom's here. I want her to be here. I want her to help me with this. I wanted her to experience this. So Flora's like, just like, oh, whatever. It's just my husband will be home in a week. Also, Flora's childhood imaginary friend has shown up, and she's just around. So it's really eerie so far. It's how it's written. It's really, you're in Flora's head, in Flora's perspective. I love her like inner monologues and just how much she is struggling with being a new mom. She just like took a shower, and she's like spending a lot of time in the shower in what feels like forever. How long will it be before she has that feeling again? Maybe never. She's absolutely tethered to another human being, and she has no one to blame but herself. She feels like a shit mom when she has these thoughts. The truth is, she has never loved another living thing the way she loves Iris. So how can such competing feelings coexist within her simultaneously? I love that it's diving into these darker, harsher thoughts that can come with motherhood, because like it's not all sunshine and daisies no matter what TikTok makes you think, especially when you are doing it on your own and you have a lot of emotional baggage as well. So I think it's tackling that in a very human and thoughtful way. It's also like really freaky. Like some of the hallucinations that she has had is like feels so real and very vivid. So that's been like, whew. And I can only imagine it's going to start going downhill with Flora's mom being around, because she is like, oh, I would kick her out so fast. I would kick her out so fast. I have a great relationship with my mom, but like I don't have a good one with my dad. So it's like, I don't have that familiar, like the mother-daughter feeling that Flora has in this, but I do have that towards one of my parents, so I'm kind of getting it. But I mean, these are like fears I have becoming a mom. Like, will I be a great mom? Will I be the bad part of one of my parents versus the good part? Will I pass on these good traits? Will I give my child like a great childhood versus the one that was fraught with a lot of instability and a toxic parenthood. Like, these are things I think about all the time. Sorry, just some Peyton lore to throw at you. I am really liking it. It's a very quick read. The chapters are pretty short, so it makes it feel like it's flying. I would love to finish this tonight. We'll see. We shall see. The air quality in Minneapolis has been such shit the last few days. I had to cancel my long run Saturday. I had to cancel my long run, and if you saw my last vlog, you know, my last long run didn't go very well, so I'm gonna move that till tomorrow. Yeah, I've just been a little cooped up the last few days, but it also makes for a perfect reading situation. So I'm gonna keep reading. I will share more when I have more to say or I'm finished with it, but I am liking it so far. Hey y'all, I finished Dearest last night. Wow, I really liked it. Sorry about my well, I guess not sorry. I'm allowed to shower. It's a vlog. Got done with my long run. It was 11 miles. I did it uninterrupted. Yay! No, I was not attacked by any insects or wildlife during my run, so that's a plus. This was like, I really liked it. I thought this was a really solid horror book. My earlier prediction with Jackie Walters being a screenwriter and me being interested in that just to see how it played out, it became very cinematic. Like, this would make a very good movie, like Shudder or A24 or Neon. Like, I think this would be really good as a movie. However, I don't think this book is for everyone. The last time I checked in, it's a little bit over 100 pages. The book took such a twisty turn a few times that I wasn't expecting and I didn't see coming, and it actually made the book way more enjoyable for me, because the last time I checked in I was like, if this is gonna be the whole book, like this gaslighting back and forth between toxic banter between the mom and the daughter, I'm like, well, I don't think this is gonna get a high rating from me. But it became really eerie, horrifying, like fever dreamy the last half of the book, and it really knocked it up a bit, and it did become very cinematic, like it was a movie. How do I describe it without spoiling anything? There is some body horror that I also didn't see coming that like made me like gag a bit. Yeah, I really liked it. There was something about the ending. It's weird. I really like the ending, but there is a part of the ending I didn't like and I wish it had been removed. Obviously it wasn't because it's in the finished audiobook, but overall, like, I really enjoy it. I think this is a solid horror read. It tackles a lot. Like I said, it's very fever dreamy. It tackles mental health and the bonds between mother and daughter, and like when you have a fraught relationship that you don't really understand why, and you feel like so guilty about it, but also you don't, and you discover more about your parent than you ever thought you would, and it kind of changes your perception of them and your history with them. It really snowballed into this really like big horror bubble by the end of it. Yeah, I really liked this a lot. I'm surprised how much I liked it because I kind of went into it not really having any expectations. But yeah, I really like this a lot. I recommend it. Not for everyone, but if you like something that will take you on quite the fever dream journey, and I think it's like very vividly described horror, I think you might enjoy this if you enjoy like mother-daughter horror relationships. I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm just gonna, but yeah, I like this a lot. Oh, sorry, last thing. The book mentions another book, oh no, my battery. Hold on. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. It was mentioned twice in the book. The shorts, I think it's a short story or novella, The Yellow Wallpaper. I think it's by Charlotte Perkins. I have not read it. It has been recommended to me so many damn times. I forgot that it does have to do with a woman who is dealing with some type of postpartum psychosis, depression. So I'm going to add that to this TBR for the video. I just got it at the library, so I'm going to read it probably after Delicate Condition, which I will be reading next because it's the longest book in this vlog. So I'm going to start this next, but I am probably gonna crash very soon. I will probably start it later tonight. A tense psychological thriller that asks the chilling question, what does it take to be believed? Anna Alcott is desperate to have a family, but But as she tries to balance her life as an indie actress with a grueling IVF journey, she starts to suspect that someone is going to great lengths to make sure that that never happened. Crucial medicines are lost, appointments get swapped, cryptic warnings have her jumping at shadows, and despite everything she's gone through to make this pregnancy a reality, not even her husband is willing to believe that someone is playing twisted games with her. Yeah, it says like feminist update to Rosemary's Baby. Rosemary's Baby by Ira Levin. Like I said, that's one of my favorite movies, like top 2. I adore that movie so much. I read the book a few years ago. Like I said, it's scene for scene the movie. And Rosemary's Baby is a lot of it having to do with her knowing that something is wrong and her knowing that something is going on with her pregnancy and the people around her are trying to sabotage her, or what she thinks is like take her baby for demonic purposes. Her husband, her doctor, her neighbors are all like, shh, you're just pregnant. It's the hormones. Like, you need to listen to us. Like, we know what's best for you. And to have that constantly told to you while you know something is wrong is so infuriating and also terrifying because it feels like no one believes you, especially when it gets to your doctor. So I'm curious to see how it's going to be tackled in this, if that's what the blurb is saying by Andrea Bartz. I don't know who Andrea Bartz is. This will be next, but it's like almost the same color palette too. So yeah, I'm gonna start this, but I'm probably gonna take a nap. So I will update you all when I'm further into delicate conditions. The next clip is going to include conversations of IVF as well as miscarriage. If this is something you are sensitive to, please skip ahead to the next part. Hi, I just want to give a little reading update. I am about 150 pages into Delicate Condition. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I'm interested enough to keep going, but I don't know. Oh, yeah. I take my nails off because, I know, poor me, but I got one caught in a drawer and I felt my soul leave my body. Oof, so I just took them all off. So like I said when I read the synopsis, this is following our main character Anna, who is an indie actress in New York. She's in her late 30s. She was actually in an indie film that became extremely successful, and she is kind of thrust into the spotlight after a long time of having like a middling career. Like, she's getting attention from Golden Globes and Oscars, and she has paparazzi following her as well as a stalker. All while her and her husband Dex are navigating IVF and trying to become pregnant after 2 failed rounds of IVF. That's how the book opens, is her going to an IVF appointment, her egg retrieval. And then they have the surgery to implant the embryo, and it is successful. It's interesting, the little Easter eggs of Rosemary's Baby that have come up so far. Like, obviously they're in New York, but Anna is the one who is the actor instead of in Rosemary's Baby. It's her husband, Guy. Dr. Hill is mentioned, but in the book, she's this older woman who's her doctor. And in Rosemary's Baby, it's a man, a younger guy, who she goes to first before she gets switched to Dr. Saperstein, the one who her neighbors put upon her as like the best obstetrician in New York. So that's interesting too. There's a lot of conversation about, you can see why this is touted as like a feminist update, because there's a lot of conversation about going through IVF as well as trying to become pregnant in your when you're considered too old, or it's risky because you're older. How it seems so easy for some women versus how hard it seems for other women. And like the absolute triathlon that is IVF treatment, like shots and hormones, and having to do the shot a certain time of day, and like missing your window, as well as like failed IVF, and how devastating that is. Anna and said Guy, her husband's name is Dex, go out to Long Island to get away from a stalker who Anna is convinced broke into her house while she was sleeping in bed and touched her. And she thought it was this woman who has been stalking her online, but she didn't get a good look at her. So they sneak away to the Hamptons just to get away from it all. They don't really tell anyone they're there except her agent and her best friend whose house they're staying at. So this isn't a spoiler, it's on the back of the book. While they are out there, Anna suffers a miscarriage. It's so sad and frustrating because the doctor won't talk to her. He only talks to her husband. But the woman who did the ultrasound doesn't work at the hospital. Anna's like, what the fuck? Like, her husband's like, what the fuck? The hospital staff are like, what the fuck? Who is this lady who was pretending to give you an ultrasound. That happens, and then Anna still feels the baby moving, kicking, but everyone is convinced her that she had a miscarriage. She is no longer pregnant, but Anna still thinks she is, and that's where I'm at now. And that's pretty much the extent of the back of the book. I don't know how I feel about it yet. Like, I'm interested to keep going. It is written more like a thriller. I'm really curious how the rest of the story is going to play out, and how much Danielle Valentine is going to take from Rosemary's Baby. What other Easter eggs am I gonna find out? Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I guess it's really sad. It's really heartbreaking because Anna really wants to be a mom. She really wants to be pregnant. Her husband really wants a baby. And this is something they've been working towards for a while with no success. And Anna lost her mom when she was 9, and she's always wanted to have that connection with a baby. Be a mom to a child when she had hers taken when she was a young age. I really want to see how the rest of the plot unfolds with Anna, like, truly convinced she is pregnant but knowing something is wrong. So we'll see how that goes. I did go out to the yarn store, got yarn for my baby hat. I know the more I'm talking about this, the more it's like, this is really morbid. I don't know if I should do this during this vlog. I'm doing it. We're doing it. So I got yarn to make this hat right here. I will link the pattern down below if you are interested. Like this really squishy green yarn for my sprout hat. In the yarn store they had a little sample baby hat with this yarn. You can tell there's like little specks in it. It was really cute. It had like a little tie. This is the pattern right here. I'm just gonna knit both. I'm gonna knit 2 baby hats for my friend because you can't have enough baby hats, and they're so cute and they don't take a lot of time to make. So I'm gonna cast on the sprout hat tonight. Maybe I'll finish it because it's chunky yarn, so I don't think it's gonna take me that long, but it looks more complicated than I've done because I've never done like this. Like I've never done like where the leaves come out. So see how that goes, but I love a challenge. But I am going to put the book down for a bit and start this. I'll update you all when I have more to say. Maybe when I'm done, maybe I'll stop in before because it is pretty long. I'm gonna knit some baby hats during this mommy horror vlog. All right, we'll talk soon. Delicate condition. I'm really bummed that I did not like this. I'm really bummed it just didn't work for me. I'm really bummed because I thought this was going to be a winner. It started off so strong. Excuse the mess. This is getting taken care of very shortly. It was like a downward slope. I don't think this needed to be as long as it was. I think that was the crux of it, is I didn't really like being in Anna's head the whole book, even though I know that you know who you're supposed to be following. But for over 400 pages, it just became really tiresome. I actually didn't really like anyone in this book. I didn't really like any of the characters at all. At all. I didn't want to DNF it because I really wanted to figure out what the twist or the mystery was, and it was just so unsatisfying and lame. It really reminded me, at least towards the end, of like American Horror Story, which I'm not the biggest fan of at all. I think the only one I liked was Asylum. I mean, I think this has American Horror Story like written all over it. If they ever adapt it, it just kind of became a snooze. So not my favorite. I'm really bummed about it because I really love the source material. Stuff it tried to tackle, or stuff I wanted it to tackle, how as a woman when you're pregnant, sometimes you can be, a lot of the time can be treated more of like a vessel than a person, and I really wanted it to dive into that more, and it really didn't. It really didn't. So yeah, I'm bummed. Maybe 2 stars, 2.5. Yeah, I'm really bummed. So I'm going to be reading the Yellow Wallpaper next. I'm really excited about it because I've heard it's very, very good. It is a classic, and I'm really excited to read a classic. It's not that long. It's by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. I think I just said Charlotte Perkins earlier. I have to get going. I have to get my hair taken care of. It's a little wet right now. Because I just went for a run and took a shower, but my color refreshed and like cut, just freshen it up. So, and then I'll start Yellow Wallpaper, and then I'll update you on my thoughts. Let's go. Last time I checked in, I was about to get my hair done, and I I was gonna start the yellow wallpaper. I started and finished it last night. It's only like 30 pages. And wow, that was really good. That was really good psychological horror. What is the yellow wallpaper about? It's all in this woman's journal. She is the wife of this physician who has deemed her to have this hysterical disorder, fantasy, or hysterical tendencies, hysterical nature after the birth of their baby. And she is put away in this room in this crumbling house where there's this yellow wallpaper that starts to with her head. And through the diary entries, you really see her obsession grow into this mania. It really takes a toll on her psychologically, and just like the downward slope of that was written really well, and it did so much in 30 pages. I was blown away. I loved it. I thought it was so good. I'm pissed. It took me so long to read it, but I highly recommend it. It definitely fits into this category because her husband's a physician. Her brother's a physician. Her father-in-law is a physician. They all say the same thing. Like, oh, you're just being hysterical. That's gonna put you in this room and keep you quiet. Have someone keep an eye on you at all times and give you all these tonics that are supposed to make you feel better. And just, it's okay. You're fine. Just like hold your hand, like tap. You're fine. Everything's fine. Listen to us. We're doctors. We know what we're talking about. I looked up some stuff afterwards. The fact that the author went through something very similar or almost the exact same thing dealing with postpartum depression is so horrifying because I think when was this written? It was first published in January of 1892. Sad to say that through the books I've read and the media I've consumed around mother horror or pregnancy horror, reproduction horror, a lot of it still rings true throughout the years, and a lot of it is the same type of thing. How women's health can be chalked up to like hysterical tendencies, or oh, you're just pregnant, or it's just the hormones, oh, you just need to rest, and really dismissing pain or psychology when the person, the patient, the woman telling you that something is wrong. And yeah, it's very impactful and creepy and really well done, and I really, really liked it. So props. God, you can do so much. I love that you can do so much in 30 pages. And there was like so much rage and anger behind the words too that you just feel, as well as witnessing like this madness take hold. Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. I'm gonna gush about that. It's one of the most impactful, inspiring, powerful things I've read in quite a while. Damn. Okay, I need to get a physical copy. That was really good. This morning I did start Baby Teeth. I'm about 50 pages in, and the little blurb on the top is, we need to talk about Kevin meets Gone Girl meets the Oven. So that's a lot. That's a lot of media that I've seen and enjoyed. We need to talk about Kevin. I haven't read the book. It's by Lionel Shriver, and I've only seen the movie, the one with Tilda Swinton. I went into that blind. I didn't really know anything about it, and man, that fucked me up. I was like a shell of a person after I watched that movie for like a week. Oof. And I can see echoes of that in this for sure. So this is about this woman named Suzette, stay-at-home mom, dealing with her 7-year-old daughter, Hannah, and they have a very tense, fraught relationship. Hannah is 7 and does not speak. That has also complicated their relationship. The book is told through both of their perspectives. Each chapter is either Hannah or Suzette. You see both of their perspectives in certain situations. Suzette's married to Alex, and Hannah adores him, acts like the perfect child around him, and Alex just thinks like they need to work on their relationship, Hannah and Suzette, and they need to bond more, and she doesn't understand Hannah. Hannah's this delicate flower. She's really bright, and and Hannah's been kicked out of every school, kindergarten, preschool she's been a part of. They don't have babysitters anymore because none of them come back. This is like fucking nightmare fuel right here for like having kids. Biggest form of birth control so far about having kids. Like, and we need to talk about Kevin. Like, those will scare you from having kids for sure. An example, Suzette's getting ready for, this was when Hannah was 4. Her and Alex were getting ready to go to a dinner party. Hannah didn't want them to go. She wanted to go with them. So she hides Suzette's diamond earrings and then later flushes them down the toilet. The babysitter gets there, and Hannah's 4, and she asks Suzette, is she potty trained? And Hannah's like immediately in her head like offended. So she goes upstairs and goes to the bathroom, number 1 and number 2 on the floor, and then like is like, whoops. And then she steals one of the babysitter's rings when she takes them off to clean up the mess. When she's tucking Hannah in to bed, Hannah starts like barking at her and like pulls and rips out a chunk of her hair. And that was the last time Alex and Suzette went out. I don't know how I'm feeling about this though. Like, it's definitely like, it's very bingeable. I think so far it's like a more diabolical version of the push, which I mentioned earlier. I'm curious to see how off the rails this goes. Hannah's obviously a really fucked up kid. There's like one part where she's talking about she wants to get rid of Suzette. She wants to get rid of her mom. Her mom doesn't understand her. Her mom looks at her like there's something wrong with her. And I'm like, with just cause. Girl, with just cause. Punched a toddler in a Trader Joe's and acted like that was just what you do. She made some comment about she loves her daddy so much and she wants to marry him when she's older and so her mom can go away, and it's just like, okay, I don't know if that was necessary, but maybe it's just like showing how really fucked Hannah is. Very unnerving so far. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. It's still really too early to tell, but I'm gonna keep reading this today. I have another video to film and get that up, but I think I will keep reading this. I don't know if I'm liking it yet. So far I'm just really unnerved. And like, oh my god, this is like a parent's true nightmare that you give birth to a psychopath, and whether or not that is you are born that way or made that way. I'm blanking. Oh my god, nature versus nurture, which is also something that was tackled, and we need to talk about Kevin. Because obviously, like, you don't want to assume the worst of a child, especially your own child, because they are supposed to be innocent, vulnerable, they need you. Yeah, they have tantrums and whatever, like most kids do. They say no and mine, but this is more than that, and I already know just from reading Suzette's perspective and like her trying to talk to Alex about this, that I'm gonna be pissed the fuck off at Alex, her husband. And I know it. I know I'm just gonna be like so frustrated with him because he's not there a lot. He's working, he's an architect. He doesn't see the side of Hannah that Suzette does. I felt that way about the dad, and we need to talk about Kevin. You would think your partner would believe you when you say there's something seriously wrong with your kid, and they wouldn't be so dismissive. Oh, she just needs to find this right school for her. She needs to be in an advanced program, blah, 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 blah. We need to feed her more organic food, blah, blah, blah. Like, take her to a therapist, maybe that'll help. You know, she doesn't speak, so she already feels like an outsider. And it's just like, okay, fair, but also your wife is telling you she punched a kid in the face, a toddler in the face because it was crying. She's been kicked out of every school she's been in. She killed the class goldfish, and you don't want to hear about it? So, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna... This book is probably just gonna make me more mad than anything, but it's short. I think I can finish it, if not today, by tomorrow, and wrap this vlog up. Yeah, I will fill you in later when I have more thoughts or I'm done. Ah! Oh, it's so cute. I think it'll look better once there's a little baby head or a toddler. I think this is a little big for a baby, but like a little toddler head. It's so cute. Oh my god, I can't wait to give this to my friend. This was a very easy pattern, and I learned 3-needle bind off and like how to knit these little leaves. I learned some stuff, so I think I'm gonna steam it one more time with it tied up like this because I just locked it flat. But it's that.
2 hours later.
Oh my god, y'all. What is this book? I'm halfway through. I really don't like this book. Alright, Suzette is getting more and more troubled by Hannah's actions, and they escalate. The last time I checked in, she had like, something with, I don't even remember what I said. Anyway, it's gone up from there. Like, she's a diabolical 7-year-old. But there's also, when you're in Hannah's chapters, you're also a little bit of flashback moments to like Hannah remembers being like 3 or 4. And Suzette suffers from Crohn's disease. It went untreated for a really long time, and she really suffered because of it. And she had a mother who just didn't want to deal with her or didn't want to deal with her disease. And that was a big reason why she suffered in silence for a while. And like this generational trauma of like Suzette wanting to be a better mother for Hannah, the mom she never had. So there's these instances of Hannah misunderstanding Suzette when she's really young, and how that kind of played into her development, because Suzette would be really tired or irritable because she didn't feel well or was having a flare-up or something, and Hannah didn't really understand, so she thought it was, she felt that way towards her. They touch on that. Most of it's just Hannah just wanting to make her mom suffer and get rid of her and just be an absolute demon terror. Alright, so I I don't like this book because I don't like any of the characters. It's becoming really repetitive. Hannah will act out and do something towards Suzette, and Suzette will then tell Alex, her husband, and he will just like kind of like, it's not a big deal, she's just a kid, she's just different. And it's just been that over and over again. Or like Monday, oh, Hannah had a really bad day, I'm really worried about her, we should get her help. Tuesday, I think she's on the up and up. Wednesday, I'm like really scared of her, I think she's doing this on purpose. Thursday, oh, let's go shopping together as a family. And it's like this almost chess game between Hannah and Suzette, and like they're trying to one-up each other, basically for Alex to be in his favor, or who can make a believable case. Which one will he believe? And it's just, okay, and then this is just really pissing me off. Alex is literally, like, he's so useless in this situation. I would kick him to the fucking curb, or I would leave them and just be like, you know what? I'm just gonna peace out because neither of you want me here. And I think what's frustrating me a little bit with Suzette is, not that I get what Hannah's trying to do, but it's also like, Suzette makes it no secret how much she cares about Alex in their marriage, in their relationship, and how Hannah basically ruined it. So I'm like, what the fuck is this book? But she's also like really concerned and worried about her daughter and wants to get her help and wants to be a good mom. Okay, and then this instance happened of, in the middle of the night, like Hannah cut Suzette's hair like really wonky.
Tell the truth.
It's horrendous.
It's horrendous.
It's modern.
Don't lie.
I'm not.
I look like a pencil.
And all Suzette can think about, all she can think about, not that my daughter did this intentionally, I know she did intentionally, not that. It's that she's worried what Alex will think of her new look. Will Alex find her grotesque and leave her? And that's what Hannah wants to happen. And Suzette's worried about that too. It's like, that... Here, hold on. Let's see. Okay, and so this is before the hair thing, but they get in this fight about sending Hannah to this school that Alex doesn't think is right for her or not prestigious enough. It's a school for like kids with behavioral issues. And they have a big fight about how Suzette reacted, blah blah, but they make up later and they have like makeup sex. Hold on. So she's saying like they made up. Fortunately, by nightfall, he resumed speaking to her, seemed to forgive her even, or at least his penis had. Like literally all she cares about. Yeah, I'm not jiving with the writing. I don't think is particularly good. I'm halfway through and I think it could be done in 50 pages, but I have like another 150 pages to read that I feel like is just going to be the same thing. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's just going to be the same thing in the rest of the book. I am not enjoying this book. I want to DNF it, but I also want to see, curious enough to keep reading because I want to see who wins. If really anyone wins, like they all suck. Everyone in this book sucks. Alex sucks, Suzette sucks, Hannah definitely sucks. They're all awful people in their own way. They're all selfish in their own way. This has definitely been my least favorite read so far. Like even Delicate Condition, like as long as that was and long-winded as that became, I still liked parts of the writing and the story and I didn't really like any of the characters in that one either, but like I don't know, something kept me going through that one. And this I'm just like, I don't like it. I will update you all when I'm done. I don't know if I'm going to finish it tonight or try and finish it tomorrow, but yeah, then this vlog will be over. And I think I'm glad it's going to be over. Alright, I'll talk soon. Hi, I'm here to wrap up the vlog. I finished Baby Teeth yesterday. What the hell was this? This was awful. This was hands down the worst book I've read this year. I'm just so angry at this book. If I had to be analytical about this book, maybe the author was trying to... And I haven't read We Need to Talk About Kevin, so I don't know if there's chapters from his perspective versus just the mom's. If there's not, maybe this is what she wanted to do, is to show not just the mother's or Suzette's idea of what's going on, and maybe like stuff that she did or she could have done better, stuff like that. Hannah's chapters were supposed to be showing how her actions could have been misinterpreted, cold and not happy with her, Suzette not happy with her, or Hannah's just a psychopath, and that's it. Oh, hi, Yumi. You want to say hi to everyone? Oh, do you want to say hi, my little biscuit? I love you. She's like, please put me down or feed me. And what the hell is that ending? I'm so angry. I'm so mad. What? For all that buildup, and For it just to be like an end and like nothing, and it kind of set it up for like a sequel, which I think there is a sequel, which is crazy that there is a sequel to this book. Pretty sure it's a sequel. It's called Dear Hannah. So I'm assuming it's a sequel. This book doesn't have a terrible rating on Goodreads to begin with. Follow-up. Jesus Christ. I just don't think this was well done. Like what I mentioned before about the author's intentions, I just don't think it was well executed. You are really not rooting for really anyone in this book. The mom, she was more worried about how her husband perceived her or thought she was beautiful and her looks and I guess like outward appearances than she was worried about whether... Maybe she was worried about her daughter being fucked up, but it's just like, it didn't feel like the priority worry. And it should have been the priority worry with some of the stuff that Hannah was doing and saying and putting them through, especially towards the end. Is, oh, maybe she'll get better. Maybe she's fine. Do we really have to do this? I'm like, girl, you really have to do this. It's like... so mad! I feel like there's so much more I could say, but it's like spoilery. I don't recommend this book. If you really like this book, I'm so happy for you, but I thought this was hot garbage. Hot stinking garbage. I don't get it. Anyway, alright, let's wrap this up before this like ruins my day. My favorite book of this vlog, hands down, I thought it was the best executed. The husband wasn't useless, and granted he wasn't there for more than half the book. To be fair, but I thought this was really, really well done horror. Like, I would love to see this adapted. I just thought it was so good. Dearest, I loved Dearest. She has a new book coming out next year, which I think is another horror, which I will be very, very highly anticipating. So, Dearest, I really, really loved. Delicate Condition, I really wanted to love it. I really, really, really wanted to love it. It just was way too long, and for something that ended up for me being very meh. It didn't feel original enough. Also one that I didn't think was very well executed. The Yellow Wallpaper, runner-up for my favorite, really, really loved it. Did so much in 30 pages. A classic. I really, really, really loved it. I'm super happy I remembered it because it was mentioned in Dearest. I'm really glad that I read it for this vlog. I'm really glad I got to read it, period. And then Baby Teeth, which my first 1-star of the year. I would probably have more 1-stars if I hadn't made like the goal to DNF more this year if I wasn't vibing with the book, but this probably would have been a DNF. It's hard because I wanted to know how it ended because sometimes horror surprises you that way, and I was curious enough to keep going, but man, this is my motherhood vlog, the mother horror vlog. I wish I'd had more favorites out of it, but I still got to read some horror. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Have you read any of the books I've talked about? Is there a reproductive pregnancy mother horror book that you've really enjoyed that I didn't mention? Or maybe I should keep on my radar? Let me know down below. I would love to know your thoughts. And as always, thank you so much for clicking. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll have a new video for you soon. Bye!